information is being passed by one of his lawyers who has visited him in Sokoto Correctional Center. So please, I want to beg you to pay very close attention because 100 men is about to be selected. Oh yes, please listen to Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer.
Hello, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. Because as I'm scrolling down the internet now, I saw this update. When this update dropped some couple of hours ago, it is not up to 3 hours, from the excellent media house. And I don't say I will always call the name of that person so that you can as well verify your own, from your own side, because I cannot keep on telling you things that look like propaganda. But let me also make one correction here, because a lot of videos have been posted, a lot of videos, a lot of comments have been received. Some people say propaganda, some people say AI. My brother, the most important thing the government hold against the people is propaganda. And for you to also bring government to their toes, you must also use a propaganda to counter propagandas. Government can never rule you without a propaganda, and you can never counter government without a propaganda. That is the simple truth. So whenever you say propaganda, it is meant for, a reason, and that reason must be surely achieved. So whether it's a propaganda or real news, anywhere you see it, my brother, it is for a purpose. Please, let us stop. This one a propaganda, this one a lie. This one. My brother, if government don't use lie, if government don't use lie, nobody, government, in fact, none of the government officials can be able to pass on the road without not people being thrown stones on them. Because they will come out and tell you they have done this, they have done that, all in newspapers. It is all lies, and the people will believe it. And then when we tell you the same lie that we used to counter the government, to compare them to do the needful, you come out and begin to attack us. Imagine attacking those who have been oppressed the same way you have been oppressed, to defend the oppressors. One day, this English is day too long. If I say make I reverse them again, I go misstep. But whichever it is, if you laugh me, I'm not going to work with the trouser. Okay, I beg let us listen to this Mazi Nemeka, who happens to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer. But the headline of this message is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have chosen 100 wise men to discuss the Biafra's affairs in Sokoto. And you don't even know whether your uncle name might be there, your brother, your sister. You say, okay, 100 wise men, no women. Okay, so your brother, your uncle, your aunt. Your uncle, no aunt. You don't know whether their name is there. So please, watch this message from beginning to the end and drop your thoughts at the comment section. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more interesting videos. Regarding
all of us of freedom. My name is Nnamdi Kanu, one of the lawyers to Today is the 15th of March, 2026. I've been in Sokoto since on the 13th of March, 2026, to consult with my client, Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm happy to announce to us that we had very fruitful discussions, and there will be so many emerging issues to be handled and to be treated in a very short while. There will be established a 100-man committee, a 100-man committee that will be in charge of so many things to come. The 100-man committee will be headed by Nnamdi Kanu himself, and there will be other deputies who assist him in heading this 100-man committee. And I want to tell us that he is of high spirit despite the incarceration, and he has told us that we must remain one at all times. We must maintain focus at all times. We must be united at all times. He also expressed his thank you to the governor of Abia State for being a very democratic man, for not interfering with the rally to release him, for not interfering with the fundamental rights of people who came in to rally for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So the governor, we thank you. The legal team, thanks you. You have done well. You have acted as if you are not a Nigerian politician. You acted like an American politician who believes in the human rights of people. We thank you. God will bless you. And by the grace of God, with the good work you are doing in Abia State, I like you going to have a second term. And I want to thank all those who are assisting one way or the other to see that Nnamdi Kanu is free. We want to thank you. Be steadfast in your pursuit for justice. Be steadfast in your pursuit for love. Be steadfast in your pursuit for freedom. God will help us. And as I bid you farewell from the Sultan Abubakar III, Sultan Abubakar III Airport, I want to say thank you. Yes, I want to say also thank you to Shore, Sahid, and all those who came in to rally. You see, the funny thing is that Shore, Sahid, and all the others, they are not evil. They are Yorubas, but they believe in the struggle for freedom. They believe in the independence of people. They believe in self-determination. Not all those who are scared of the freedom of other people. So we thank those committees. We thank those who came in from Lagos, from the Urobo, Biafra. We thank all of you.
All right, so we wait for further information about that, and whenever it comes, of course, I'm going to bring it down to us on this channel. So if this is your first time coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe, all right? Now, are you aware that there is a planned nationwide protest, and this protest is all about the release of Nnamdi Kanu? We are not aware. Of course, the plans are still ongoing, but then I will allow you to listen to one of the planners and see what he got to say, please.
There will be more, except if common sense prevail and the result
solve the problem. In fact, now we are planning a nationwide protest for Nnamdi Kanu's release, which will involve Lagos, Port Harcourt. So while we were in Port Harcourt today, people were even upset that we did not include Port Harcourt in the Aba setup, our plan for Aba. So we said we're going to do it for the entire country. It is, for us, a task that must be done that Nnamdi Kanu is granted freedom because he has not committed any offense known to law. It was the worst judicial pronouncement of 2025, probably globally. It was a sham trial. The conclusions didn't align with the evidence, and the judge just read something that had been written for him by someone else. And as you know, it was a kind of a decision or conviction he did so that he can get his own promotion to the Court of Appeal, which happened almost immediately after he delivered that very scandalous judgment. So the struggle continues until Nnamdi Kanu is returned back to rejoin his family and the family of freedom fighters that he has been leading since he started the struggle. It is a struggle that had started since Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya, even before then. But you are also aware that last year we had a massive protest in Abuja that shut down the city of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory entirely. And we did tell them then that if Nnamdi Kanu is not granted granted freedom, the protest we thought it was a joke. That's why we took it to Aba yesterday. That is his home state. As it is currently put together, Nigeria must break. Nigeria has an Igbo problem. And I'm not saying it to please people who are known as Igbos. Nigeria, having wonder where their eyes, never forgive the Igbos. And if I were to be president of Nigeria today, the first thing I would do is to head to the Southeast and apologize to them for the war. And then ask them, what do we want? There is a secret memo, I don't know where it is located in government, that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbo. Don't give them position. Don't give them opportunity. Otherwise, they will overrun. It's a well-known fact. Even our parents. Before we continue watching this video, welcome back again to this channel. This is Your Perspectives, your domain for unfiltered news and raw political analysis. Should we actually say a whole lot of things here? And I want you all to listen attentively, especially if you are from Igbo section. And of course, subscribe to this channel and leave your comments, as we would also give some tips of analysis as regards to the things Shuri has to say. Let's continue watching the video.
Talking about Biafra.
Yes.
You had a meeting with Nnamdi Kanu, and that sparked, in fact,
New York.
Yeah, I think you got arrested after that meeting. People would say, you people are not fighting the same cause. You are fighting to be the president of the country. He is fighting to divide the country.
Yes.
People would say, why would you be seen in such a meeting? Would you like to say that?
Anybody that lacks any sense of consciousness would ignore social movements. That's the problem with Nigerian leadership. You cannot have a country in which there are 251 tribes or language, and one big section says we are not satisfied with here, and you don't talk to them. You don't understand that. Then you are not a leader of that country. The reason I met him was to understand first what his struggle was about, which I knew already, and secondly, to also advise him on the way that I think we could all work together. And thirdly, to send a message to the Nigerian people that we can work through our differences, even at these levels. And I was surprised that, contrary to what some people are saying, he did not want Nigeria to break up. He wanted a Nigeria where the Igbo man can survive. But for an Igbo man to survive in Nigeria, as it is currently put together, Nigeria must break.
Wait, the meeting you had with Nnamdi Kanu,
Yes.
You are telling us now that Nnamdi Kanu, from what you understand from the meeting with him,
Yes.
he does not want Nigeria to break, to divide.
He said clearly that it is too late for Nigeria to come together. But he gave his point. We live streamed the meeting now. It's online.
Okay.
And part of it was live streamed. Some of them were private. But he said that he feels that if Nigeria were to respect certain protocols, including a referendum inserted in the constitution, and he still says it even now in court, that if he's released, he will go back and end the bloodshed. The bloodshed is in Upper, and that the conversation can. He says that in every court appearance, that he's being held is not helping the opportunity to have a conversation about whatever it is, the unity you are begging for. But you see, Nigeria has a problem, and I've always said Nigeria has an Igbo problem. And I'm not saying it to please people who are known as Igbos. But the moment they decided to take the action they took in 1967 to 1970, the war, Nigeria, having wonder where their eyes, never forgive the Igbos. That is the reality. And if I were to be president of Nigeria today, the first thing I would do is to head to the Southeast and apologize to them for the war. Part of it is that I never participated in it, and I cannot continue to fight a war that I did not engage in. And then ask them, what do we want?
So are you saying that the federal government has, like even before successive governments,
yes,
they've always had this anger against the Igbos?
There is a secret memo, I don't know where it is located in government, that that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbo. Don't give them position. Don't give them opportunity. Otherwise, they will overrun. It is a well-known fact. Even our parents, wow, tell us, Igbo. You understand? Some of them even say unconsciously, they even say it on radio shows in this country. So don't let us lie to ourselves, because except we bring this out openly and discuss, it's a taboo that we have refused to discuss. True. We are not going to solve the problem. It is the reason why the federal government of Nigeria feels that in 2024, detaining Nnamdi Kanu against all the court orders, against all the court rulings, is the only way to go. You know, I was detained in the DSS place for 5 months. Yes. There is nothing there to detain anybody for. The place is not even functioning. The DSS headquarters. Yes, is it the same DSS people who are watching BB Nigeria from morning to night? No, it's true now. I was there with them for 5 months. I've said this publicly. So all the institutions in this country are broken down. But let's get back to the reality. One thing I told people is that we are looking at Igbos as the only people who want to secede. But who in this country today has not mentally seceded from Nigeria? Mentally seceded. Who has not left? Except those who are trapped. If anybody in this country is working in a bank and he has 10 million naira and somebody says you can get into Canada, he will leave the next day. I swear. Is that not secession? What of secession is that you leave a country, you say to that country goodbye, and not you get to the other country, you bow down, you touch the soil. And then you renounce your citizenship of the country you are coming from. Is that not what they call secession? So if you want to look at the number of people that have seceded in that Japa syndrome, there are more than all the Igbos combined together who are asking to leave. And in the process of keeping Nigeria united, we have let go of more citizens than the country should have. Yes.
So you think if they had, because you mean, from the last thing you said now, is in the process of trying to keep Nigeria united,
yes,
we have let go of more citizens than we should have. Of course. So if we had allowed for the division or secession of Nigeria, most of our citizens that are outside would not have been outside.
No, you see, it is not the secession I'm talking about.
Okay, what are you talking about?
It is what led to the war that we did not address. Okay. And what happened after the war. Why is it that Nigeria hasn't been able to overcome the Biafran problem? It's because Nigeria never addressed what the Biafrans were asking for before the war.
What were they asking for?
They were asking for to be treated not as second-class citizens in this country. Don't you know what happened in the Corporal War in this country, where people were slaughtered and their bodies and their heads placed inside the train going down south? Yes, from the mid, the different parts of the north. Are we ignoring that? So that happened before the war. Before the war, that's what they call Corporal. People who were settled, doing well, they were start slaughtering them and sending their bodies and their heads inside calabash and sending on trains that was heading east.
Were they Easterners?
They were Easterners. Why are you asking me? It's there in, go and Google it now. So you expect that will happen, and then there was a war that eviscerated 3 million people. Wow. And when the war was over, you just say, oh, nobody was vanquished, nobody was victorious. And then 3 hours, but you still kept a memo and said, don't trust them.
Collect people money, yes, £20.
And then you took their property. So Juku did not get back Jamb until 1992 now, his father's house, that is known as Jamb headquarters here in Ikoyi. It was after he came back from Ivory Coast. It was Babangida, I think, that gave him back their property. So any country that is perpetually kind of systemic injustice against will lose more citizens than they should have. The reason why countries that are working work is because citizens believe in their country. And you cannot force that belief. It has to come through social justice. It's true. It has to come through economic justice. Why is it that my children can feel like they're US citizens, even though they're born there? It's because before they let you take them out of the hospital, they must take all their immunity, everything, injections. You cannot put them at home and not go back to the doctor to go and complete it. And when it's time for school, they cannot be out of school for 2 days. And you'll be saying that, no, I want Shikira to go and be selling pure water. He will go to jail. So, and then when it's time for them to go to college, there is loan, there is grants, You
are talking fast. If you burn them in the hospital, you cannot even go home with that child if they've not approved you to go home with the child.
Not only that, you cannot even throw your child up in the hospital the way we do it here. Now we just start playing with your child. You can't. You're not allowed to just let your child fly in the air. They say you want to ruin their brain. When we're born, we see happens now. They'll put hot water in your ass. They will be married. They will be using hot, the rag to be pushing your head together. In the process, maybe that's where they shift some of our brains.
Now why
So it is fundamental that we understand that what makes people feel like citizens is what their country has to offer to them, and then they in turn will offer something back to their country. Sometimes their life. Yeah. And some people ask me, why would you have all this life and come back and be suffering here? I said to them, we are built differently. Some of us, this is how we design our conviction. There are some of us that even fight for country we have never been to before. I fight for Palestinians. I fight for South Africans. I cannot fight for my own people, Nigerians. The 200 million people on the largest continent on earth.
Still on the election. Based on the last thing that he said. Okay. Sorry, my brother.
No problem.
You said you fight for Palestinians, you fight for South Africans. Why can't you fight for Nigerians? Maybe this question should be later end. But let me just bring it up before I forget. Do you ever regret fighting for Nigerians, because there are sometimes that you go online, you see some things, and look at the people I'm fighting for. They are busy talking about cruise, they are busy talking about whiskey, they are busy talking about whiskey, and everyone says Zukwani. You do right in Jesus' name. Do you ever regret fighting for these people?
No. But the only thing people must understand about fighting for people is that it's a thankless job. It's a thankless job. If you expect something from it, you'll be very, very disappointed. And that's where the trauma comes from for people who sometimes will just get arrested by police one time and you never hear from them again. Because that period that you have expectation for people to rise and support you and they are not there, it traumatizes people a lot. I know what it is. It's really part of reasons why if I hear that somebody is suffering oppression, I intervene in the best possible way I can to get them out. Because it's a very slippery slope. But for me, I don't expect anything from anybody. I don't expect to be paid. I don't expect to be praised. If I was expecting something from people, when I wanted to start Harry Potter, I would have been putting pictures of rich people. It's the easiest way to get rich. Just go to their weddings,
for magazines,
put them there in the best, ask them to bend, and take nice pictures of them. That's not the way to offend people. But I took the route of offensive journalism. And that means you are fighting powerful people. And powerful people are very powerful in such a way that even some of the most reasonable people can be asked by powerful people to work against their own interest. And they will do it more than the people who are oppressing them. And that's what Nigeria has shown us. This is what I have to say. Nigeria is a nation of immense diversity, rich culture, and complicated history. Yet, beneath the surface of its unity lies stories of struggle, injustice, and unanswered questions. In a recent interview, Shuri spoke boldly about one of the most sensitive topics in Nigerian history, about Nnamdi Kanu, the Igbo people, and the civil war. Of course, the unresolved wounds of the Biafra struggle. His words compel us to ask the hardest questions. What does truly unity mean? So he begins by addressing the question on everyone's mind. Does Nnamdi Kanu really want Nigeria to divide? His answer is clear. No, according to his visit, that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't actually seek Nigeria's division. According to Shore, Kanu himself has stated that keeping him in custody is not helping the cause of unity. I mean, the very act intended to preserve unity may, in fact, be undermining it. Shore challenges us to think deeply about justice, freedom, and the role of leadership in nurturing the true national cohesion.
Okay, my people, now here we go, call it the end, Abby. Call it a quit. I don't know which other language that we use to qualify it, but I'm very sure you understand the message very well. Nnamdi Kanu have chosen 100 wise men, and he will be the head of that committee to discuss the Biafra freedom and Biafraexit from Nigeria. So we are looking up to that. As we wait, may God Almighty control to guide and protect our Onyendomazi Nnamdi Kanu anywhere he is at any point in time. So, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more interesting videos.